Hi Virgo, here is a general look at your solar chart for June 2014, and as the month begins and over the first 3 weeks, the solar energy theme means that you'll be taking your targets or overall direction more seriously. You're thinking about image, presentation, where am I going from here, plans, goals, or maybe even the master plan, and having to be more aware of the rules and regulations imposed by authority figures and red tape and that kind of thing, but being responsible and consistent as you go forwards. And until the 17th, it's a period when you can discuss and consider and generally chew the fat in the company of others, particularly progressive during the first week. But then Mercury begins to retrograde from the end of the first week. And that means that certain ideas could be stalling in the abstract, in the hypothetical, or maybe it can mean hold-ups and delays in other sorts of ways. But with Mercury there in general, you will be thinking along the lines of what serves the collective, what serves others. It's a very good area for anything to do with networking and the internet. And then Mercury retrogrades right back into Gemini, and for you that is at the top of your chart. That's the area to do the same areas where the Sun is for the first 3 weeks. So Mercury comes to join the Sun there on the 17th, retrograding backwards. So thinking about career matters, or maybe it's a new enterprise of some kind, and you having discussions around plans and projects, and watching how things are unfolding, keeping your ear to the ground, maybe having to rethink, maybe having to go back to the drawing board on something, and so that you can, as you always do want this, Virgo, get the best results that you can possibly manifest, possibly reach. But I think you're going to have some very good advice, some good guidance, and help with maybe beating the drum on something, maybe on the educational side, on the communications side. There's going to be some lovely energy in there for most of the month in the shape of Venus, and she will be supporting key relationships with those who've got an expertise on something, a specialist help there for you, a knowledge which balances your perspective and helps you get the bigger picture, helps you expand more. But also it does support a relationship with someone at a distance as well. This is another way this can work. Somebody maybe that you admire, or who admires you, and somebody is likely to be there with a know-how, and it could be to do with publications as well. It could be to do with legal things, but it generally tends to go in your direction, whatever it is about, and that's up until the 24th. And you and someone could be teaming up. You and someone could be on quite a learning curve together. From the 21st, the solar energy makes it a forward-moving phase when friendships, contacts, new and old, anything to do with the internet, and also anything to do with your connections through a group dynamic is really sort of rolling forwards. It's a really very much a forward orientated phase, and also something which you may have wanted to get going with earlier, or maybe many years ago even, now starts to roll forwards, or the possibility is now there for it to roll forwards. And networking or technology is also pretty well highlighted from the 21st onwards there. Venus does move on the 24th, just for the last just for the last week of the month, and it helps to create more favorable circumstances with authority figures, people in a position of power, people in a position to help you. whether that is like officialdom or whether that's just, you know, somebody you know who's got something that can be very facilitate you in some way or another, and they're very, very likely now to put that at your disposal. They're more likely, if they are officials or bureaucracy, put something, you know, to see you in a good light and do something there which can facilitate an ambition, which can help you to be successful, and you see that as invaluable, you know, this component or this person putting in the good word or whatever it is. And you yourself, in fact, if you turn that around, could be the one who takes a firm but friendly, you know, helps somebody along the way and helps them to achieve their goals. And also mustn't lose sight of the fact that this might just be a higher authority that you're getting help from. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the material world at all, but it's as though it has long arms and it can reach down into the material world. And that is quite a different way of looking at this. Saturn is very much challenging you in the communications area, as you know, in this long transit which began in October 2014. This is the time to do your magnum opus. This is the time for you to write it all down, or to do the course with maybe a lot of reading or study or writing. This is a time for you to really sharpen and hone your communication skills, whether that's to do with writing or cutting things out or painting things or musically. It's just communication skills, and through any medium of self-expression and being more creative with your self-expression. But because it's Saturn, Saturn expects work and consistency and perseverance to get there in the end, and this transit continues until the end of the year, although there's a little bit more of it to go for very late Virgo in 2015. However, it's in a very good angle to your sun sign, and you will look back and be very pleased, I think, and proud of yourself for what you've managed to learn, what you've managed to express, what you've managed to get skilled on and develop. And also another thing about this is that you know, sometimes no two people ever really met. And that is going to become even more obvious with this Saturn transit. And by that I mean no two people ever really understood each other, or no two people ever really understood the words or the meaning of the words that were spoken. And this becomes can become for some with this transit even more obvious, or in fact begins to become obvious if it had eluded you before. And you Virgos born near the beginning of the last decade, well, the end of the second decade and the beginning of the last decade, or with 17 to 21 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most, although it does cover the whole of the sign. And then, of course, Jupiter is helping you to grow and learn through who you know and how they can put what they know at your disposal. So once again, even though this month I think you're going to have some good guidance and somebody that you consult with maybe as well, who's going to be very helpful in general with this transit of Jupiter. That's been helping you to be able to, you know, if you can't do it yourself, then you have a friend who has a friend who has a friend who can, if you see what I mean. It goes down the line, it goes sort of like a chain of connections there. And also to do anything to do with information technology over the internet, anything over the wires in general, and new friends or a new group that you're connecting into, a new collective or a new kind of mind, a collective mind, that like a tribe, but it can be again beyond the material world, that you're tapping into, you're connecting into, is great with this. Jupiter always wants us to expand through whichever area we are in, so that can be new friends in an earthly sense, but also in other senses as well, and that can also be you know, new friends, like animals or plants or trees, or new interests as well, which are very sort of future. They tend to be very future orientated and rather unconventional as well. New interests that are very unconventional over this long time, and you learn a lot through these new interests. And this transit actually began last year around about July. But also over this time, others could see you as the teacher, you as the enabler, you as the good friend, the good guide, you as the one that connects them in with the rest of the group in whatever way. And you Virgos born in it will be the second decanate of the sign, and it will be between 19 and 27 degrees rising, because it's coming right towards the end of its transit. It'll be coming out of there towards the end of next month. That'll be July. And then Mars, well, Mars has been in this tremendously long transit in quite a materialistic area of your solar chart, telling you you've got to get your act together with the budget, with the incomings, the outgoings, and not being frivolous and wasteful in that area there, always asking yourself, why do I need this? And also looking at the piggy bank, and perhaps any other bit of territory as well, which is a resource for you, or maybe an asset. And that might not be a piece of, you know, kit or territory. It might be your own abilities, Virgo, or maybe just one ability which you left on the shelf years ago. You know, you need to be blowing the dust off that one. And also this transit ends in July, and then the focus will move on into a new sort of area. So be aware of that. But your physical strength could be stretched, or there's more demand on you to make improvements in this area: property, finances, and also your own abilities and your own you should be working harder to capitalize on your own assets. Okay, and so don't overlook what those assets are, whether they are very visible ones or whether it's just to do with your experience and your life, or your general inclination in a certain direction, and it's kind of honing it up into a proper skill. And you Virgos born in the end of the first, the beginning of the second decanate of your sign, or with 8 to 12 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most this month. Sorry, 8 to 17 degrees, I should have said. But just a mention of Mars rolling forwards now, it means that it's easy for you to overstretch your finances or another resource for whatever the reason. Also, your feelings on things can run very deep, but they do keep changing. And that can be to do with a relationship, or that can be to do with what you're valuing most now in your life and what your priorities are. But depending on the situation and the underlying natal chart energies, life could suddenly take you off in a new direction. Creative and competitive juices could be flowing now, and you could find yourself center stage. Yes, watch that space. And I mention that from the 21st, the solar energy is going into a very friendly area to do with a group, a community of some kind. Yes, I did, didn't I? I think I did. I just want to mention, Neptune though, because Neptune is in your opposite sign, and it's so easy to end up being the prop that others are leaning on, or even having the wool pulled over your eyes. in a close relationship, so watch out for that. However, you know, the upside of Neptune there is that you could cross paths with a soulmate. You could very much be bringing more of your heart energy, your empathy, your deeper understanding into one-to-one type relationships, whether these are in your personal life or in your professional life. And separating from the needy from the greedy will be necessary, and also very ferociously looking after your boundaries, Virgo, because Neptune knows no boundaries, it rules the sea. So all will be well if you do that and have respect for yourself and honor for yourself as well as for others. But there's no need to go putting somebody on a pedestal. And you Virgos are born in the first decanate or 6 to 8 degrees of Pisces rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. Virgo rising, going to feel the energy the most this month. And that's it for June. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, then listen to the forecast for those, and you can see this all written up on my website anyway, if you want to check something, and I'll see you the next time.